So, what is up, Soul Figgity fam? This is Chris with Soldier of Life, and today in this video, it's almost coming like rapid fire now. Yeah, it's another beautiful day in Chiang Mai. There's a phone popping off. I don't think it's mine because I'm recording on my phone. But yes, it's another beautiful day in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Today was another boring digital nomad. Today was another boring digital nomad day. Bunch of computer work, bunch of hosting, SEO, analytics, blog posts, all the good stuff. Tags and titles and tags, all that good stuff. It's like 3:30 now, 3:45. I got a late start. Why? I was broke last night. The one thing about when you living overseas and you have an account from your home country and then the transfer time, and man, I cannot wait for digital currency so it doesn't cost me like $100 just to ship money over anymore. But yeah, today was a pretty productive day. Like I said, it's like 3:30 now. That's usually like my quitting time. I try to do work from in between 8 to 3 something o'clock. But that is not even why I started this video. It's kind of weird. I set a schedule for myself that's pretty hectic. A work schedule. I have different work schedules for different aspects and projects that I'm doing currently. I have a website schedule. I have a YouTube schedule, which is here. This is my YouTube posting videos daily. I'm working on it. I recently just had family come over. If you haven't seen my little girl in one of the other videos, they came, so I didn't want to take that time to be posting and editing video and stuff like that. So yeah, basically in this video, what I would be talking about is my personal reason why I moved to Thailand. And it's actually a pretty cool story. It's not really that cool. It's not, never mind. I apologize. But what happened was, so basically the title of my channel is Soldier of Life. And if anybody knew me before, I didn't have my head on straight, really, before I joined the military. I was always in different jobs. I was always like a good kid, a good guy, but I just had stupid tendencies. Like my mindsets were all messed up. They were terrible at the time. Like the things that I would do, people couldn't understand it, and I didn't understand that people couldn't understand me, and this is just the way I thought. Like I've always been like that. I've always been like a rebel type. Not to be rebellious, but just like question the status quo. I didn't see the point in doing things just because everybody else was doing it. And it's not to be different, but that's just my mindset. I always operated it within gray areas. I can switch situations to make it seem like a good thing and turn it into something totally different and have you change your mindset before you even know it, right in front of your eyes. And that's always been a skill that I was pretty good at, but I didn't do anything with it. So after being incarcerated a couple times, fuck it, man, I'll just tell you. The last time that I was incarcerated, the judge gave me an ultimatum. And I'm going to have this also, just personally, because I know everybody's got their own story to tell. But the judge had me in the courtroom, and he just told me, it's like, hey, man, like, I'm tired of seeing your face here. Like, if I see you again, I'm going to send you in prison. And if anybody from the States knows, like, once you become a felon, when you go to prison, sorry if you hear the plane, there's a plane flying over here, but once you go to prison, you can't travel, you can't vote. It's super hard to find a job. Like, it's a lot of opportunities that are neglected for you that you just don't have the opportunity for anymore. And this was like a big wake-up call for me. So that's one of the reasons why I joined the military. Not really the defining reason, but yeah, so that was that. And then, god damn, this plane is... I'm not editing the video. I'm sorry, I ain't got time for that. So you're just going to hear the plane. Hopefully you don't hear a lot of me, but you're going to hear the plane. But anyway, yeah, this was kind of like a wake-up call for me. So I served my last term incarcerated, and I was just like, time to make a change. So I joined the military or whatever. And like a lot of like a lot of people in my demographic, or a lot of people in general nowadays, I didn't have a really defining male figure in my life. So once I joined, then I started finding more male role models that I can look up to a little bit more, that I can learn from, that I can actually figure out who I am as a person, and that I can confide in with my leaders, my other fellow soldiers and stuff like that. It totally changed my perspective on life, how I was living, like my confidence level, who I thought I was. Like I was just way above anything that I thought I was before. And it's just so funny. It's just like one of the things that I've always been fascinated with is like the difference in what makes people confident. There's a lot of people that think they're confident because of the materialistic things they have. There's a lot of people that are confident because of their looks or because of something that they have that makes them feel like I have this, so nobody else has it, so it makes me better than. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand their core confidence. They just project that into the world because everybody wants to be more confident, or people want to be around confident people. But I personally wasn't that confident in myself. I was confident in the things that I had, the money that I had when I had it, my girl at the time, whatever. But I really personally didn't realize that when I was going through it. So it's really easy to like say that you're this, say you're that, say I'm confident, but until you step outside of yourself and start realizing, who you are, start seeing yourself from outside of yourself, that's like a big, staple in my whole, I suck with words, I'm sorry, but that's like a big staple in my whole ideology. It's just like, you don't see yourself until you step outside of yourself, looking at yourself. It's this crazy, mind orgy. But yeah, so once I started seeing that, when I departed from the military, that's when, okay, like, hey, I'm separated from the military. Now it's time to live this civilian lifestyle, regular. It's all about me. It's all, not saying me, but I had to figure out how do I conform a little bit now? How do I change it up? How to switch up my style, if you were. But I was offered a couple job offers in different countries. As a lot of people know, like if you're in the military, it's almost custom. Like when you get out, you get a nice contract job, you make good money. But I personally, I didn't want to go from one thing to the other. It's almost, to me, it's like you go from your one girlfriend and then you break up with her, and then 3 days later you get a new girlfriend. I personally, like, that's not the route that I wanted to take. And when I started going through that, like I was sending in job applications and all this other stuff, I just started realizing, like, when I go into interviews, like I felt like I was proving myself, or I'd be saying things that I personally didn't believe in order to make the, interviewer like, oh, okay, yeah, and I just seen myself turning into something I didn't really like. I've worked really hard, almost a decade on the new persona, the new person that I was. My personal definition of core confidence, my way of thinking, I worked really hard on that. And I was afraid that I was going to lose that when I started back going in the corporate world. So there was an opportunity for me where I had, a decent amount of money. And I said, either A, I can go to this country, because I started traveling at that time. Once I left, like I never stayed local in a place for a long time. But my eyes got a little bit more open to the world. So once I started traveling, at this opportunity, it was basically like a crossroads. And you all know, like that time in your life where it's like, either you can go this way and take this decision, it's going to change your life a lot, or you can go this other way. It'll also change your life, but it'll just be different. So I was just thinking, should I, either A, go back home, or go to this place and sit down, get a job, buckle down. Once I get the job, I'll probably be there. Maybe I can get sponsorship from the job and live in this country, da-da-da. Or should I branch off, try to do my own thing, invest in myself, give myself a go at whatever. And after just contemplating it, like I also made a video about this when I first started doing my digital nomad pursuit, that I just said, hey man, I really, I've, I've done, I've done things that I've never thought I would do in my life. You know, the military afforded me that. My soldier's mindset of thinking now is totally different than the way I was thinking before, and I really don't want to revert back to that. I don't want to know anything other than what how I think, what I know now. And it's like the whole no bullshit excuses, no, basically like accountability, all this other good stuff. I just felt like it wouldn't be the same in the corporate world, so I decided to bet on myself. And the reason that I moved to Thailand is about when I first got out of the military. I just went on a trip. I just said, to celebrate, I'm out, whatever. I'm going to just go explore the world a little bit and see what's up. And then one year when I came here, I came exactly to Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's about a year and some change ago from now. And I met a lot of cool people when traveling. And it was a person I met in particular. And I was just having a good time that night, and we were just talking. And then she was like, yeah, blase, squaze, this and this and that about this place. She knew a lot about the country. And she was here for like over 10 years. And I was just asking her, I was like, wow, you did that? How did you do that? And she's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that live here, And she said the term expat, that's what it was. And I was like, what the hell is an expat? I have no idea what that is. And I'm an African-American dude. I don't know what expat is. I don't know what nomad is. I don't know. If I didn't delve into this world, I wouldn't know what any of that stuff was. I didn't care. It wasn't in my, if it's not directly in your face every day, why? Like, there's stuff going on in the parts of the world I have no idea about, but it's not in my face every day. It's not something that I'm concerning myself with. So it's not that I don't care, but it's just not a part of my daily repertoire, right? So she told me about this expat thing. So I went to go look it up, right? I was in Chiang Mai at that time. I traveled all through Southeast Asia. And then when I got back home, I looked up the term expat, right? And we added each other on Facebook and all this stuff. And it said like this expatriate, blase, squaze, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So basically in my mind, I was like, so we're immigrants. Basically you're an immigrant. And I was telling myself this, like I didn't even talk to her when I got back, but I was saying this to myself. I was like, man, these people think they're blah, 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 like they're better, but they're just immigrants, da, da, da. So during that interaction, I told her, I was like, oh man, what, people live here? I would love to live there one day. I'm going to come back and live here. I always talk so much shit. But that's my personality type. Like, me talking shit will have me rise to the occasion. So me talking about something that seems like I would never be able to do it, it seems like a feat that, it's just impossible to do. I like saying it because it'll make me feel like I'm going to rise to the occasion and get it done. So after that, literally like, 9 months, 10 months went by. And when I had this crossroads time, that's when I made the decision. I was like, look, man, talking to myself, I'm just like, it's scary, but you should try to do this. Like you won't, I personally think if you're a good human being, if you're decent, if you're able to use your resources, if you're smart, if you're intellectual, if you are resourceful, if you try to do things that you might not be able to do it. Like me, I'm on a goal, I'm on a mission. I might not do it. It's whatever. I give myself a year. I don't have a lot of money. I don't really have a lot of time. I don't know what the outcome is. I don't care. The fact that I went out and did it, that's all I need in life. So when I go to the grave, I'm just like, I don't think about what I woulda, coulda, shoulda did. I'm like, man, I did that, and that is a personal feat in itself. So, get back to the story. It was like 10 months later, and when I made this crossroads, I made the decision. I said, man, you know what? Like, I had a dope time in Thailand. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to try to live there for a while. And I'm going to go on the digital nomad journey. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to, see what I can learn, try to do it, try to make it work for me, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens. So I was excited to tell that person, like, hey, I'm coming back, basically because of what you said. And she was here, and I met her, we're really good, really cool, right? We're really cool. And we just had that conversation when I was back, and I was just saying, like, you're the reason I came back here. Because of that conversation, I wouldn't have delved into the realm of any of this stuff, like digital nomad, traveler, blah, 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 like how to, live online or whatever. the traveling lifestyle. I wouldn't have known anything about that if we didn't have that interaction. You know, I basically was leaving. I was traveling at the time just because I got out the military. I was like, oh, I'm going to celebrate my freedom a little bit, whatever. But that one conversation basically changed my mind, changed my life forever. And I told her that, and yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool just to see that. But the reason I chose Thailand is just because that interaction basically, like, now that I know the world's a little bit more open to me, but that conversation in itself, and it's funny, you'll have these moments in your life, and you'll think like, you know, hey, maybe I should do that, maybe I shouldn't. And then you might take the safe route, that's cool, but what happens if you take the route that's less traveled? See what happens, man. I personally, I love it. I love the fear. I even told all my friends when I left, I was like, yo, I am scared as balls. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I might be broke. There's definitely been times I've been broke, really broke, you know, and you just gotta be resourceful. You just gotta make things happen for yourself. It's one of the best decisions I've ever done, aside from joining the military and all this other cutesy-wootsy stuff, whatever, but it's one of the better decisions I've ever done. And yeah, it's a beautiful country. I love Thailand, man. I love Chiang Mai, baby. If you're traveling, you gotta make sure you get out here sometime, even if not Chiang Mai, but just Thailand in general. It's full of rich history and culture. There's temples galore, and now there's all this Western stuff. I personally don't like it. You can keep your Starbucks and KFC and McDonald's. I'm not into that anymore anyway, but I personally, if you're not a traveler, or if you haven't traveled before, if you're new to the channel, personally, make that own personal development decision and get out, or try the one thing that you think is the not difficult route, but the more unprecedented route, and try it. Give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good person, if good things should happen to you, then no matter what, even if you fall on your face, you know, I can tell you all this motivational stuff, but if you fall on your face, at least you're falling forward. You feel me? You're not falling backwards. So that's really the basis of this video. I think I messed this up. Yes. So, yes, that's basically what I got. Man, don't criticize me too hard. This is difficult for a brother. I don't usually do this raw, uncut stuff, but I had to switch it up from the schedule. It was supposed to be a fitness video today, but my leg is towed down. My knee is killing me. Damn, am I racing or something? Anyway, but my knee is killing me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to crank these out once a week. God, my knee is busting, man. Busting. If you got some tips to hook a brother up with this knee pain, I feel like I lost my whole cartilage in my leg. But yeah, next week it'll be some fitness joints. I'm putting workout programs together. I'm trying to get it in, man. I just feel like, I don't know, like soldier's mindset, baby. Ain't no complaining, ain't no bitching, ain't no drama for your mama. It's beautiful. Oh man, and tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Sucks. Lonely, I'm so lonely. I have nobody to call my own. So I just left the house, and I almost took my new journey to be a digital nomad without taking anything digital. So, advice for people that are moving: don't use headphones while you're moving, because you're not thinking about anything except what's in the headphones. Yeah, I've hit this train.